In today's video, we are going to replace a track bar on this van that's behind me. A track bar runs from an axle to a fitting on your body somewhere. The large end here, in this case, connects to a link that comes down for the body of the vehicle. Pretty simple device, nut on one side, bolt on the other, goes through this hole here. And on the other end, this is the portion here that connects to the axle. Function of the track bar is to keep the body of the vehicle stable and from leaning too far when you go around turns. If this wears out, you're going to find the rear of your vehicle is going to seem like a bit of a circus ride as you go around a turn, because say if you're turning that way and it leans, it's actually going to end up leaning way farther than it normally should, because this track bar here should be pulling it down. This was $62 in Canada, August of 2016, so not really expensive. That was taxes included. This vehicle is a Ford van. Here's our track bar. You can see the bolts keeping me in place here. The bushing right there. This is a 15mm bolt in this case on this Ford van. And the track bar will go all the way across to the opposite end of the vehicle. There's the other end of it. And here's our bushing on that side. And here's our problem. That has rusted away totally and broken off. This is the passenger side over here. This bolt was really tight. Not surprising. Track bar is not something that gets replaced on a regular basis, and this is a year 2000 vehicle, so it probably was seized up pretty good. Anyway, I got the breaker bar out and that loosened it off. That nut is actually a part of that mounting bracket, so it just makes it a little easier. I don't have to try to get a wrench in there and hold that nut as I loosen the bolt out of there. So in this scenario, the nut is actually part of a bracket that goes against that bracket that hangs down here. So I just kept turning and turning, and it just eased right off. And there it is. I'll take that off, and then I'm going to pound something through we'll pound our bolt right off through there. Just going to find something long enough to give that a good hit with a hammer. This is a really straightforward job. Just put that end of the track bar up into place there. Slide my bolt through. We'll put my nut over on the other side and tighten that up. So I just had that bolt snug at the moment, so I can still move the track bar like this until I get the other end of it in place. Then I'll come back and tighten that bolt right up. As we discussed, this is a really simple job putting this track bar in. I'm just going to push this up into place here, and then I'll put my bolt through. I can't hold the camera and do that at the same time. Getting the bushing out of here though was a nightmare job. I have a video on that, and I'll put a link to it in this video. There's the track bar in place. Push that bolt through, and I'll tighten that up. One thing I do want to show here on this particular vehicle, the nut on the other side has a slot on it that fits into this fitting that is on the hanger that comes down from the body. So I'm just going to move this bolt until I get that into the slot there. Might have to pry that in with a screwdriver. And then from the other side I'll tighten up the bolt. Well, I just lined up the slot there in that fitting with the groove in this one, and then I just put my big screwdriver on here, gave it a tap with the hammer, and you can see it's in place there now. Now I'll tighten that bolt up. And here's that nut with the bolt all tightened up into place. So here's the passenger side of it. There's our bushing right here, all tightened up. Take my wrench off of there, and I'll go tighten up the other side. And here's the small end of the track bar. Went back over to it, tightened it up. That's pretty much it. As I said, it's a pretty simple device and a fairly straightforward job.